I can't support this one.
What is up, everybody? This is a live reaction of the CFP championship game on currently going on. Michigan is up 34-13, I believe. As I was driving home, it was 20-13, and I came inside the house and I turned on the TV and it was already 27-13. And then Washington got in position to score, and then threw an interception on the fourth down, and Michigan returned it deep into Washington territory. And now it's pretty much over. But no, the takeaway with this, it's clearly that Michigan's defense is a lot better than I think a lot of people realize. You know, that's clearly something that I undervalue with the two games in the semifinals, and then here with the final here. You know, they were dominant in a lot of ways. You know, considering that Washington has a really good onslaught of our arsenal with Odunze and Polk and Johnson and all kinds of talented players, and Penix Jr. obviously leading the charge. But it's like, you know, I'm just looking at the stats alone because I was at work. Thank God I'm back to work. Yeah, but the Michigan defense really stood out in this game. Just looking at the stats right now, it's, you know, Michigan outgained them by like 150 and really put it to them on the ground game. 304 on the ground to Washington's 41. So Michigan clearly dominated this game and was up 17-3 at one point. Washington did make it a one-score game twice, but Michigan was obviously the better team here. And I'm surprised because I would have thought that there would have been a bigger push by this Washington offense. You know, I had seen a lot of people talk about their offensive line, but they really struggled with pressure, and Penix Jr. was hit a lot. You know, there wasn't a ton of sacks. I think there was only like one sack, I think I've heard. But, you know, it just two interceptions. Clearly, Penix struggled in this game. He still put up 255 yards, but the run game was non-existent. Johnson only had 33 total yards, an average of 3.0. Not good, and not a way to win this game, especially against a team like Michigan, where you need to be balanced. You know, if you rely on one thing or the other, you're going to get beat here. And I think, you know, a large part of my assessment of this game was the fact that Michigan hadn't played as good of a quarterback as Michael Penix Jr. all year. I think the best was probably McCord at Ohio State, and you know, he already transferred out of Ohio State, so he's obviously not that great. And Penix, you know, was right there in the Heisman race, put up huge numbers all year. I thought that Penix was going to be, you know, really a huge force in this game. And, you know, a lot of the, you know, deep throws that he is accustomed doing have not really been the case here. And it's been, you know, I mean, he's holding his arm right here. He's clearly hurting badly. And this is fourth down here. Like, this is basically it. So if they don't convert, the game is officially over. I mean, it's 3 scores with 1:53. Like, it is over, but it'll be officially over once they do not convert here. But, you know, I will say this has been a really great year. You know, I know Florida State fans are pissed off with sorry, the focus. I'm out of focus here. Yeah, just the fact that this year, you know, this is the last year of the 14 playoff. I think the 4 teams that were selected were the right teams. I really like Texas. I thought Milrow was going to be athletic enough to really make a difference against the Michigan defense, which I was wrong there. And I mean, that was a close game though. But again, I thought Michael Penix Jr. was going to be able to dice up this Michigan team, but he clearly wasn't. And this Michigan defense is very strong and probably, I mean, I'd say up there with the Georgia defense of the last couple of years, which is a huge compliment because it's definitely something that is not the biggest focus on most teams is being a really good defensive team. It's really the focus last like 10, 15 years has been the offense and making sure that, a team can put points on the board. And this Michigan team obviously can, but they're, not the strongest in the passing game, but they're able to run the ball effectively. And, with good defense, that goes a long way. You don't need to be able to be as strong on the passing game. And, that was pretty similar to what Georgia was the last couple of years. I mean, Todd Monken liked to throw the ball more than other coordinators for Georgia, but it's a similar template for both Michigan and Georgia here. Be stout on defense and be a very efficient offense to the point that you can play almost anybody. And it's I definitely am eating crow here. I'm not going to lie. I definitely thought that Michigan wasn't going to win this game. I didn't think they were going to win the game against Alabama. And, I thought largely the problem with Michigan was the fact that they hadn't played anyone all year and that they were going to finally play someone and they were going to get smacked. But, they just were better than everyone else and better all year. And, it's proved in these games, and especially these last 2. And I think that the one thing that'll stand out though is definitely the sign stealing stuff, because people are going to talk about it for the next little while. I mean, I know it's not what Michigan fans want to hear, but it's definitely going to be not an asterisk, but maybe it's definitely going to be something that is mentioned whenever you talk about this team, regardless of how you feel about how they were, offensively and defensively. It still was a large part of the story. He got suspended in the first part of the year for infractions and then got suspended again for what they considered was something that was obviously a problem. And, Michigan didn't get dinged for it. I mean, but here they are, they're winning it. And, obviously they're not sign stealing here because that guy is gone and, they're looking out for it. So I don't think they'd be sign stealing. And, they're, I don't know. Hey, they won. And I think Harbaugh is probably not going anywhere now. I think he's going to stay. Winning the national championship probably keeps him there. Because now he's got all kinds of goodwill from the Michigan fans, and they've won what a shared national championship in 98, so or 97, 98, and besides that, it had been like a long time before that, so they only really have 2 championships in 50 years or whatever it is. So he probably can stay as long as he wants, but again, the sign stealing stuff is going to be brought up. I know the NCAA takes forever to figure things out, so it may take a year before you actually see any movement on that. I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're going to take this away. It would be very difficult to see, the NCAA taking away a championship like this. But again, credit to the Michigan here. They were clearly the best team this year, and I think the only team that may have beaten them was probably Georgia. And it's surprising that Georgia didn't get a chance at this, considering they were a very good team all year and lost, the SEC championship game by like 3 points. And I don't know. I think Georgia would have beaten them because they were more of a complete team than Washington, more of a complete team than Texas. Even though I like Texas a lot, and definitely a more complete team than Alabama, but Alabama beat them in the SEC championship game, so it's like you really can't. I don't know. It's hard to decipher from one team to the next in each game because it's like each game has its own separate circumstances that, regardless of who you think is a better team, not necessarily is going to be the better team. And it's when you get down to the last couple of games of the year, when it's the SEC championship game, Big Ten championship game, the playoffs, it starts to like weed itself out, and like those better teams are right there, and it's just there's I don't know, it kind of shows you what's going on with it. And I don't know, I've had a long day. I'm not going to do this much longer tonight because there's not much else to say. Like, and I'm glad I came on near the end because it's good to talk about this, as this is the last show of the year for us at Hater Radio. And it's been a great year. We've had the best year by far that we've had, and I've been doing this since 2016. And subscribers on YouTube are like, I think it's up to 118, and we started at 1 in the beginning of the season, so that's 4 months, 5 months, and we've already gone 117 new subscribers. This last video, my boy Jonathan, yeah, good to see you, brother, too, man. I hope you're watching this game at home, because I know you're off today because the yacht club's off tonight. But subscribers are up. The views on the videos are through the roof. We had the preview for this game was like close to 5,000 views, which is tremendous. Things are moving in the right direction. It's I've been very grateful that the folks on Twitter are an amazing crowd, especially all the Gator fans, the USF fans. It's a great honor to be able to interact with everyone and to do this show. And I've been having a blast. Ian's not on tonight, but I owe a lot of credit to Ian for everything that he does, for all his research, for knowing every G5 team and like almost all their players on the team as well, when I don't know anything about certain teams, and he knows everything about them, like more so than almost any other analyst out there. Like, Ian is one of the most well-researched college football analysts that I know, and he's only like 22, still in college. He's got a lot going for him. I'm excited for his future to see where he goes. He's already the technical director at the Clearwater Threshers, and he was doing camera work for USF football team, for the practices. So he's got a lot in the future for him, and he's a great asset that we have with this company. And it's like, this is just the beginning for us. I didn't put a lot of money into this for the first several years, and it was just basically trying to piece it together with, MacGyver style, taking very little resources and turning it into something. And now, I've got this great camera, this Sony A7 IV. The lens on it is amazing. I've got these lights here that light me up, and the lights back there with the Philips Hue. It's honestly, I showed a lot of the folks I work with on sets in Hollywood, and a lot of them were really impressed with what we have going here, the product. So, I feel really good about that. And, it's a huge compliment that the people that I work with are impressed with the product that we're putting out. So, that goes a long way for where we can go with this thing. And this is just the beginning. I'm grateful for every fan, every comment, everyone. Employee party day. Yes, Jonathan. I love that. You guys have a blast. Enjoy that, man. Drink one on me. Tell all the ladies and gents I say hello and have a blast there. But no, this is just the beginning. I have huge plans for this company, and I'm just trying to work it as hard as I can. I love college football, and I hope that's evident to all of you that watch this, that enjoy this. We research this. I will spend 6 to 7 hours on my Sundays every Sunday during the season to make sure I know all the big games and watch the 20-minute highlight packages of the 12 to 15 games every week, just to know what is going on in these games and not just see a minute clip of whatever. No, I actually try to watch condensed game highlights on YouTube all the time so that I know what is going on, so I can give you my knowledge instead of just making up opinions. I actually research this stuff a lot, and I really do work really hard at this stuff. And I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I am, and I'm just saying, I put that in so that you guys can enjoy this, because I know not everyone has the ability to take that time to sit there and sort through all these games, and I do, I enjoy it. I enjoy football. I played, semi-pro football on 3 different teams in 2 different states, Florida and California. And, I love this sport. I worked in college athletics. I worked for USF and I worked for Gardner Webb. And I love this sport so much. I'm glad that you guys can, watch this with us and partake. It's been a great year. I appreciate everyone's, comments, everyone's likes. Please subscribe. Please follow. Please do whatever you can. We're on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Twitter, X, TikTok. All those except for the Facebook are under Hater_radio. And then Facebook, it is Hater Radio CFB. For YouTube, just type in @Hater Radio, comes right up. For the email is haterradio1@gmail.com. This is the last show of the year. Thank you for everything. We will see you in August. Enjoy this offseason. I know there's a couple games left of the NFL season. Enjoy those. I know it's a long offseason, which sucks, but I'm actually kind of glad because it gives me a break and I can reset. And I do screenplay writing as well and try to get stuff like my directing off the ground as well. So, it's a nice break here for me so I can partake in some other interests. But I just want to thank you guys again for everything. It was a great game tonight. Obviously, a little lopsided at the end, but still interesting for most of it. But enjoy the off season, and we'll see you in August, like I said. All right, take care, y'all.